So the US's enemies are starting to grow and maybe grow stronger. Take a look at this. Russian President Vladimir Putin publicly thanks North Korea for support against Ukraine as a US journalist is detained in Russia. So now they're publicly saying that North Korea is supporting Russia and against Ukraine. So it's no longer a secret. Yeah, Russia's foreign minister thanked North Korea for its support in the war with Ukraine and in return pledged, quote, complete support and solidarity for North Korea's leader, Russia's foreign ministry said. Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov arrived in North Korea on Wednesday night and on Thursday held talks with country's foreign minister before meeting the leader Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Lavrov said Moscow appreciated North Korea's, quote, unwavering and principled support for its, quote, special military operation in Ukraine. They're still calling it that, huh? As Russia calls its invasion and unilaterally annex parts of Ukraine. Quote, we deeply value your unwavering and principled support for Russia's action in the context of the special military operation in Ukraine, as well as your recognition of the Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republic, along with all the annexed regions becoming part of the Russian Federation. Meanwhile, a new Ukraine war map shows counteroffensive gains as new US M1 Abrams tanks arrive, and that Ukrainian troops have continued to make incremental gains against Russia. Not major ground changing gains, but they are making some gains back against Russia. As you can see here in this map of Bakhmut as of October 17th, in the Institute for the Study of War, the blue is newly claimed Ukrainian counteroffensives that were previously controlled by Russia, as you can see here and here. Also here, as you can see, these are the best maps here from the BBC on how Russia initially, how much they controlled here. I'll actually zoom this in here for you. How much they controlled initially back in March 2022. The red is how much Russia controlled. And then how much they controlled, like, what is that, about 6 months later here, how much ground Ukraine gained back, okay? And then you can see Ukraine gained back even more, okay? They have now recently gained back these purple areas, are now taken back even more so from Russia as well. So now these purple areas are now Ukraine's as well, okay? And now they're taking back even more of those new areas that I just showed you, okay? So now most of Bakhmut is starting to be taken back, and they're now starting to take back the areas of Kherson as well, okay? However, this large red area will probably be a long time. It's not like this is going to be something that will be taken over anytime soon. I mean, we're talking about, you know, small gains along this border here. This will still be a long war to take over this entire area for either side. Just to be realistic here, just from what we're seeing on the battlefield, right? Now, the M1 tanks and the F-16s will obviously help that. You can see Ukrainian pilots expected to start F-16 training in Arizona next week. But again, how much this will help. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. This also comes as President Biden and thereby Congress asking for almost $106 billion for Israel, Ukraine, and the U.S. border, and also money for potentially Taiwan to prevent an invasion there as well. Remember, this money does have to be approved by Congress. So both Republicans and Democrats have to approve this, okay? This doesn't just get approved by Biden or anybody for that matter. It has to be approved by both Republicans and Democrats, and thereby we need a Speaker of the House as well. So this has to get approved by everybody for any of this to get through. So this is kind of money for the U.S. border, Ukraine, Israel, and a U.S. government preventing a U.S. government shutdown as well, which all of that could happen. Yeah. And if you've seen my previous video with the US military actually being attacked by a couple different countries actually in the Middle East and around Israel, I'll link you to that video here in a moment if you didn't see that. US military ships and US military bases actually being attacked. We are actually closer and closer to World War III right now. And on two different fronts here, two different major wars. This is very, very serious stuff. And remember, the U.S. actually spends it's over $800 billion a year in defense of our country. This money will be actually in addition to that. This is very, very serious stuff. Very, very serious stuff. And these are untrying times here. You guys let me know your thoughts here on this. Where do we actually even go from here? You got to think Israel and also, defending against Putin, who many people think is actually public enemy number one against the United States, are very, very concerning things here, because you got to think, defending against Hamas, defending against Putin, invasions, and also, the message you send to terrorists on whether or not they can actually just attack other countries and get away with it is a very, very, special message, because do you let terrorists attack other countries and get away with it or not are very important messages. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. How different are Israel and Ukraine? Different people have different opinions on this. It's interesting. Remember here that any of the money that has gone to Ukraine and or will go to Israel as well, or anything like that. Remember, we've actually been providing money to Israel for many years. All of that money has to be approved by Congress, both Republicans and Democrats. It doesn't just get approved by a President Biden or Trump or anybody like that going forward. It has to be approved by Congress beforehand. So any president can't just send out money like that. It has to be approved by Congress. So you guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I will keep you up to date. If you haven't yet, subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. I'm just here keeping it real and keeping you up to date. Don't forget to like and share these videos. Click here to see the video on North Korea has infiltrated the U.S. and mask mandates are coming back. Or click here to see the attacks on the U.S. military. Really, really alarming video there. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.